Yeah. First of all, China is throwing another hissy fit because some comments outside of China's borders sort of enraged China's leaders. But we got to remember that China has imposed great costs on South Korea for a number of imagined slights. So this is going to be a matter of some controversy between Seoul and Beijing. Now, Seoul is trying to woo China. It's trying to diss the United States. And that's really the message we should get from the ambassador's comments. Essentially, what he's saying is that they can move to China, they can move to North Korea. They don't need us, is what they're saying. And indeed, got to remember that we are defending South Korea. We are the only country pledged to defend South Korean soil. But his president, Moon Jae-in, is very anti-American.
It is interesting considering all the weapons that the North Koreans have pointed directly at Seoul, South Korea.
Yes, well, in the big parade on Saturday to mark the 75th anniversary of the founding of the Korean Workers' Party, we saw an expanded ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile. This one is a monster. Now, in November 2017, they actually tested a missile that can reach the United States. This one is even bigger, and that means it can carry a bigger payload and decoys. So this is a real weapon.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday, that missile and the concerns about it. And also something we wanted to ask you about, Gordon, that happened at this celebration in North Korea. Kim Jong-un becoming emotionally, visibly emotional during his speech. He also thanked the troops for their sacrifices and apologized. This is the dictator of the Hermit Kingdom apologizing to the North Korean people for failing to improve their lives. Was he being sincere, or is this an act of desperation?
I think it's an act of desperation. Kim Jong-un, when he took over from his dad, actually promised not only the development of fearsome weapons, but also a prosperous economy. It's called the Baiyungjing line. In other words, both. He has, of course, developed the missiles and the nukes, as we just talked about. But the North Korean economy right now is not very good. It had a little bit of recovery last year, but now it's got the coronavirus and also the cumulative effect of the sanctions. And so I think that Kim Jong-un is believing that his position with the North Korean people is a little bit dicey. Now, of course, he can stay in power. He's very coercive. He's got the world's second most effective totalitarian state. China is probably the first. But really what we're seeing right now is a Kim that is really worried about what's happening internally with this economy.
Yeah, will this be seen